The subject for today is, who are we in Christ? How does Christ see us? How does God see us? Does he see us as sinners? Does he see us as losers? Does he see us as all the many negative ways that we look at ourselves? Incapable. Essentially, I think sin is the biggie, that God sees us as sinners. But we were sinners. We are sinners redeemed. We are sinners justified. We are sinners who have been born again. So now God sees us as righteous because his spirit, when Christ came to live in our hearts, his spirit is righteous. His spirit is pure. His spirit is holy. And that spirit dwells in us. So when God speaks to us, when God looks at us, he sees us as righteous and redeemed and whole and complete in him. So this is what we're touching on. How does Christ see us? He sees us as these things. You have to get that understanding in your heart and realize beyond a shadow of a doubt that when God sees you, he does not see the old you. He sees the new you. And that's exciting. And that's how we can come to him and we can enter that throne room in our prayer lives, knowing that we are coming in righteous and whole, not condemned and broken. And that's how God can minister to us. And we can grasp the understanding that he sees us. Now, here are some verses. I'm just going to read them very quickly, and you can make note maybe of the reference or come back and listen again later. 1 Peter 1:23 says, I am born again. I am spiritually transformed by God's purpose. This is who we are in Christ. Ephesians 2:10 says, I am God's workmanship. I am created in Christ to do good works he has prepared me to do. Romans 8:2 says, I am free from the law of sin and death. We all know that one. 1 Peter 1:16 and also in Ephesians 1:4, I am holy and without blame before him. And so when the enemy would choose to come on us and tell us who we are as far as way he sees us as sinners and, we're condemned and we're doomed and everything else. Oh, wait a minute, just 1 minute here. I am holy because Christ dwells in me. And there's no reason why we can't use these, and we should use these when the enemy does attack us in our mind. And that's a whole other subject, which we're going to get into down the road. Yes, Annette?
Okay, so when you just said these are what we can use, you're referring to these scriptures, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because many people put on these jackets, and it's jackets of unworthiness.
Yes.
They feel unloved. They feel abused. They feel ugly. They're not beautiful. And just because of things that have happened to them in their life.
Right.
And so they have these cloaks, What you're saying, what I'm hearing is we can throw that coat off. That coat of unworthiness. That's not you. Don't wear that anymore. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree. And also what's key there is to decipher between your soul, your flesh, and your spirit. Because we may be homely in the world's eyes, uncomely, whatever. The Bible, Isaiah even says that Jesus was uncomely, right? But that is not how God sees us. God sees us through Christ, brought anew in our spirit, not our flesh. But what do? When we wake up in the morning and we look in the mirror, we see ourselves in the body. And so we allow that to interfere with who we really are, and that is our spirit man. Our spirit man is changed because of Christ.
Are your prayers stuck on the problem? It's time to shift. Learn how to pray with power and purpose. Pray the answer, not the problem. Visit prayingmiracles.com and start your breakthrough today.
Because I'll tell you something else that happens, and I know you know this, Annette, because of all the teachings that you do. When we change spiritually, we also change physically and vice versa. And as we're looking at the way we eat and what we're putting into our mind, body, soul, and spirit, it all affects, it overlaps.
I don't know. I never think about how we look physically because it's like, well, we are what we are and God doesn't see us that way. So I agree with you. But I'm seeing more of an inside view of people that they are broken, like you said, and they are seeing themselves as abused and ugly because of what has happened to them. And so I actually would like you to read those verses again for that woman or that man who has been abused. How would they use those verses as they come into a time of prayer and as they start to transition to their identity, how God sees them?
And that's what's important, because repetition really helps. And when we take the verses, especially those that really jump out at us and become alive to us, and we just not only read them, but we voice them, we say them out loud. When we say them out loud, we're hearing them as well as speaking them. So we have two senses involved right there. And if we're reading them, we have three senses. We're hearing, we're seeing, we are speaking. And so there's so many verses, like there's dozens and dozens, even if you, I just put a few here, and I'm going to share a few more as well. The Spirit of God, who is greater than the enemy in the world, lives in me. 1 John 4:4. Think about it. That's enough to give anybody goosebumps, right?
Exactly.
Romans 5:17 says, I have received abundant grace and the gift of righteousness. So how can anybody say you are not righteous? You have received the gift given to you at salvation. You didn't earn it. You didn't have to get good to get it. You accepted Christ into your heart, and now you are in his righteousness. You are righteous because of him. And back to the ones you wanted me to repeat. I am free from the law of sin and death. Romans 8. I do not have to live in fear. Huge.
Mm-hmm.
I am holy and without, okay, this is for that abused woman or man. I am holy and without blame before him in love.
Yeah.
Because of Christ's love, you are without blame and you are holy, and you can stand and approach that throne room, literally, of God in heaven, and thank him and worship him right there from your spirit to God's spirit. Ephesians 2, I am God's workmanship. And as many people, I'm sure you've heard them say, God doesn't make mistakes. You are not a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I am his workmanship. I am created in Christ to do the good works he has prepared for me to do. And again, 1 Peter 1:23, I am born again. I am new, spiritually transformed. Why? For God's purpose. He's got big plans for every single one of you. He is not a respecter of persons. He doesn't love one more than the other. It doesn't matter where you've been, what you've done. God is there to live in you, to restore you, and to bless you. Bottom line.
So I just want to let everyone know, definitely go to the Biblical Nutrition Academy. It's biblicalnutritionacademy.com, and check out how to pray for miracles, which is also about how to pray for answers.
Pray the answer instead of the problem.
Yes. And so it's an ongoing, it's like buying a book, but as the author decides to add more, you get that too. And then you get bonuses added in. It's a beautiful story, but it also just really makes it more real time, real to life of how God works. And so, yeah, it's a really a good investment. All right. Well, Carol, thank you so much. I can't wait to do the next one in our series. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel, hit the bell, the notification, so you get notified every time we post new videos. And you're going to want to hear more, because this is just an example of what we have in coaching in the inner circle, because Carol is one of our prayer coaches. And so the people in that class are like on the edge of their seat learning this material. So you're just kind of getting a snippet of what they see in the inner circle coaching a couple times a month.
Are your prayers stuck on the problem? It's time to shift. Learn how to pray with power and purpose. Pray the answer, not the problem. Visit prayingmiracles.com and start your breakthrough today.